Lack of sleep, it's the next biggie which affects our immune system. You know, children, when they sleep, they grow. Majority of growth happens during the sleep. When we sleep, our liver, this is why we shouldn't eat very late at night, because digestive work slows down. If you ate, for example, last 3-4 hours before you went to sleep, your digestive system already kind of slowing down. And what's happening, your liver, your kidney, going start working, detoxifying your blood and building the enzymes and proteins and everything which work for immune system. If we don't really sleep, your nervous system doesn't relax. If you don't really sleep because you ate too much, your liver is going to be busy with something else, with digestion, instead of, you know, cleaning your blood and help other systems. Another thing, when we don't sleep enough, we increase amount of cortisol, which is I'm constantly talking about, which is a hormone of stress. Adrenaline and cortisol, it's a hormone of stress. And cortisol is a hormone of inflammation. This is why they say that people who don't have enough sleep, don't have, you know, normal amount of, and I feel sorry for our hard-working people who have to go to work early in the morning and have to get up. But you actually increase the possibility of diabetes, of autoimmune disease, because of the inflammation. Because when body, for no particular reason, sending immune defense into area which don't need it, when inflammation happens because your body trying to heal something which supposedly was injured by a bear, but it wasn't a bear, nobody got injured, but heat, blood rushes into area, you know, and start hitting, you know, your own parts of our organs, be intestine with the irritable bowel syndrome, be it your rheumatoid arthritis, which happen not because of injury. They say now rheumatoid arthritis happens to children because of a lot of allergy, wrong immune response. I remember in school something very deep was said. The teacher said that because of the so many allergies, so many things in the body which body couldn't understand what it was, body doesn't know what it is and what it isn't. Body starts attacking its own organs because it doesn't recognize them. Because if, so for example, a baby have allergy to milk, it recognizes the proteins of milk as invaders. Instead of saying, oh, it's just milk, I've digested in my little stomach because I have enough of probiotics which I got from my mother through childbirth. If child doesn't get it from the mother, how would they digest milk? Okay, now we'll find out how we call podagra.
Hello? Yeah? Yeah? G-O-U-T.
Gout.
Gout.
It's a gout. This is what gout is.
Okay. Okay.
It's a thing.
Okay. Okay. We know what it is. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Спасибо.
Gout is a disease of a rich man.
Like now you're saying gout, I know the word, but it's like something, I don't know, sounds like olden days disease.
Olden day disease.
No,
it's a rich old man sitting in a chair with his leg away, put on the whatever, and don't be careful, don't trip over, you know, Mr. George foot. Because on the left foot, the toe gets inflamed and very, very painful.
Why left foot?
I have no idea. It's not
really?
me.
For me, it wasn't at all.
It wasn't at all. But it was a left?
It was left, I think. Yeah.
I don't know. When your body is very, very acidic from eating traditional food like meats and cheeses and wine, it goes into this state. And only way to recover is eating a lot of fruits and vegetables. And traditionally it's a cherry juice. Sour cherry juice, yeah.
Lena, they're selling now cherry, dark cherries, frozen, but it doesn't have coffee.
It's not a sour cherry?
No, it's not sour. It's dark cherries in sodas, but it doesn't have extra. But it's only cherries. Ingredients says just cherries.
I just asked about. I always buy vegetables, frozen vegetables with a texture, because I thought, because there was a process of either steam them before they pack, that it needed to have texture. Just ask Rabbi Ostriker. He called and he found out that if it's done in North America,
yeah,
you can buy it.
If it's done in North America. Okay, we'll check.
Find out where it's done. And you don't have to have a texture on this. You just find out from kosher authority. Poor diet. And now we'll get to the. I will make few more moments. Meditation and relaxation. How important it is. You know, it's that whatever we said before, it brings us to this point. You know, how important when you go to bed to be not too tired, too whatever. You understand? To be able to fall asleep. We know that little children, when they're too tired, they can't fall asleep. You know, it's having respect to your body, knowing when you're getting tired, slow down, have a rest. Ability to take this little trip, like we did little meditation and relaxation. It was very nice.
Yeah.
You know, we did it with during Rosh Chodesh party, and a lot of people were making, you know, like laughing. Why? Because we were too cerebral. We don't have a respect for our body and full intelligence of our body. And when you start listening to your own body, when body gives you clues, you know, and you say it, and do you remember when we sit on our thighs, like relaxed, and into realizing that your spine should be aligned, and putting your head right away, you know, trying to touch and opening our hands, and try to feel our body, you know, and letting go shoulder, and softening your stomach, and taking the breath now.
So let's do that.
Let's do it. Let's sit down.
Yeah?
Don't lean on your chair. Just sit down, your knees a little bit, have a distance between your knees, and your feet straight on the ground, and you open your hands and feel that your spine sits like nice in your how do you call it, the тазобедренные, into hips, into bones of your hips. And ground yourself. If you would be standing, you would feel grounded into the floor. Drop your shoulder. Feel like you're dropping them. Try to relax your face. And have a sense that your neck, like you don't put your head up or too down, but try to, with your neck, touch the imaginary collar of your shirt. You know, like Chinese shirt with this color. Because your head is very heavy. It weighs 7 kilos. And it would play strongly, it put a lot of pressure on your spine and muscle. Breathe. Try to breathe out. And then you will breathe in. Pay attention to your stomach. Make it soft and let go. Let go your hips and thighs and soften. Feel where in your body there is a tension, and don't do anything, just let go of this place. open a little bit your mouth, reopen it, and let your tongue just hang there, maybe touching a little bit upper teeth. Your face pleasantly drops. Muscle relax. Check your shoulders, your arms. You can see colors behind your eyelids. It's nice to respect your body. We show respect by listening to it. Check how your neck is, your head is extended on your neck, shoulders, your tummy soft. Make sure your jaw is relaxed, just by moving it slightly. We should soon come back. You can do little stretches if you want. It usually sounds like you came from somewhere, from different place. Interesting. Good we woke up. But there is something special, you know, and it's a trip to the very special and holy place, you know, our body, because they're godly. And it has its intelligence. And one of the very smart things is to communicate with yourself and trust your kind of intuition. And, we talk about meditation and relaxation. It's wonderful to find a way how to do it, be it yoga, tai chi, you know, your own way, you know. Learn how to daven with a little bit of meditation. It would be great. Next thing I put happiness. It's very important to be able to count your blessings, to be happy, to understand, you know, how good, you know, the attention God gives us. Because everything in our life, it's a Hashem's attention to our life, you know. Even negative things, it's Hashem's attention. And it's good to be happy. And one of the very important part of happiness is a family, friends. And, you know, and when I put it in my little handout, you know, family and friends, my husband said, some people would think, you know, family and friends? But it's true. It's something which is very important. You know, and it means we have to make a point of meeting with friends and doing something nice. I remember before Rosh Hashanah I had a friend who sent an email to me. She said it's important to make, sometimes we think that it's, you know, when you spend time with friends, it's like wasted time. You could have, doing your closet, you know. But actually it's important time, and women know how to do it. It's actually something which allowed us to exchange ideas, to bounce ideas, and to grow and to help each other, and it's a very, very important thing. I put right next to happiness, dry brushing your body. dry brushing. Do you remember we talked about it? The brush, and you do toward your lymphatic nodes, and our lymphatic nodes are in our armpits, around the breast, chest, neck. Do you remember when we're touching when children are sick or not? You're touching if they're железки, if lymphatic nodes inflamed, because it's where they are. We have it in the groin, under the knees, and next to the calf. This is our place with our lymphatic nodes, which is what is their goal. It's in these places, lymph comes to these places carrying bacteria and whatever it was fighting with, and body digested the phagocytes. They're actually eating the bacteria, they're breaking them down. What moves our lymph? We know that heart pumps blood and moving it around, We have two circles, small and big blood circulation. What moves lymph? Our muscles. When our muscles contract, they move lymph. Or your masseuse, when they're going upward movements toward, from down up to lymphatic nodes, doing movement like this, and pushing it toward nodes.
So
but
massage,
lymphatic drainage massage is very good. But make sure that they never do it in opposite direction.
So they have to.
It has to be upward movements on your arms up, on your legs up, in your stomach with the clock. It's a clockwise movement, and make sure that nobody ever pressing hard in those places, because you actually can squish in the groin or whatever. You can squish the lymphatic nodes. You can destroy them. The movements here could be rubbing, but not, hard squishing, because it's very important. This is something
so
very important.
So it's here, shouldn't be?
Lymphatic nodes is here. How it's done underarms.
And here.
There is a lot of lymphatic nodes in the groin. There is some in the stomach, and we're told that immune response of your body, immune system, 80% in your stomach, inside your stomach. How important it is that the gut is healthy. Bacterial things, it's very, very healthy. The dry brushing, it's a very good thing to do. In the morning before you step into your shower, you take the brush, it could be on a handle and it has a grab on the back, and you go like this. So for me it's like 8 times on arms, upward movements all over, and do your stomach, the circle movement. Handle allowed you to do on your back. You don't do breasts is not done. You do a little bit here on the neck, and you do put your foot up and you do it on your legs.
Why not before you're going to sleep?
It's very good. I do it usually because before I step in the shower. It's kind of because what you do, you increase your blood circulation. It's actually, you can try to do it before you go to bed. I'm just concerned, will you sleep well, or you're going to be too excited, like your body, it's like you wake up your body. It's kind of invigorating.
Oh, okay.
But again, I usually end my shower with a cold shower. And again, it's very important when you turn the cold water, you don't step under the stream of cold water. It's very dangerous. Papanov died this way. The actor, Russian actor, he was riding bicycle, and then he came home, and there is no hot water, Soviet Union. And he just stepped under the cold shower, because all vessels are open after you exercise.
Yeah.
If all of a sudden all of them collapsed, this is why it's not a good idea run into the cold water right away. You do here first. It means the vessels contract on your arms, on your leg, then you splash a little bit your chest, and then you step under. And you have it's a little shock, but it's nice because all your body tones, because we have little muscles and blood circulation and all. It's a very, very healthy thing to do, cold water shower, to finish your shower with cold water shower after you do brushing. And it helps with the lymph flow.
Yeah. Lena, I have a question about mushroom.
Yeah, and now let's get to the food. Now I put it aside, the talking about food, and it's now good time for it. Let's pour ourselves our broth. See what we have in our broth, and I'm not gonna serve you the. You can drink it like from piala.
Just I don't know, just drink it. This is enough.
It's a kale. We have kale there. We use kale stems, which was left over from us making kale chips.
Oh, this must be there.
Don't throw it out. Whatever you buy organic, God forbid to throw anything out. And I will pour myself too. We use mushroom as well. Mushroom have a very strong immune boosting quality. They usually consider shiitake mushrooms, but there is a different reiki. There is a different Japanese mushroom. I have it here. Let me try to fish it out.
Oh, those ones I know. It's in Chinchi.
Very often you see in the Chinese stores. They're very, very cheap. Those were dry mushrooms.
Enoki. They have not dry. They have fresh as well, right?
Yeah, they have. And shiitake and mushrooms.
But this is shiitake from Chinese
dry
store.
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking it's this different type of shiitake, right? Some of them selling in Canadian stores. Shiitake, they're different, not the same as from Chinese.
Maybe they're grown.
Good.
Isn't it nice?
I can't believe it's good.
Even with scale, huh?
It looks so terrible.
It looks terrible.
See, they say that French say, I don't know, it's not necessarily the French say it, but they say in Russia that French say, never think about what you eat and who you love. If you ask too many questions what you eat, you might find yourself, But I don't know if French do say it. But it's very interesting because you can make whatever scraps, whatever you have, vegetables, and cook it for quite a long time. And you will have all the minerals. You won't have many enzyme left because of the heat which breaks down. But minerals you will have. And we were coming to now one of the very important minerals for immune system. It's zinc. Zinc is very, very important. And the zinc lozenges is good to use during this time for, to increase your...
What about magnesium?
Okay, would you want to talk about food or basic supplements? Because I make a statement about basic supplements. Obviously, each person have to look and see what is important for his lifestyle, his needs, his whatever problem. But if we talk about eating healthy, balanced diet, we will cover a lot of things we talked about before. For example, garlic. The foods which are antibacterial, obvious why we should eat it, because it's increased our ability to fight bacteria. Mushrooms have very good quality, very, very strong antibacterial quality. Brightly colored vegetables.
But not all mushrooms, right?
See, I was asked what's good, what is from point of view of nutrition good about mushroom. Mushroom is considered the least quality protein. If you look at mushroom, the protein of a mushroom closest to chitin, to the the back of the back, the bug, what's lobsters made out of? Lobster shell. Shell of a bug. It's made out of chitin. It's a protein, but it's a very poor quality protein.
Okay.
The mushrooms, it's a poor quality protein, but they have, if you're not using them for their protein value, which is, they are protein, but they are not as good as a protein of an egg, as a protein of a nut,
Okay.
But they have a good the immune boosting quality.
Okay.
And we know that in microbiotics, in Chinese medicine, in Japanese, very often they're used. In traditional culture, like Russian, they are very often mushrooms used. And it's a good thing. Brightly colored vegetables, everything which has orange, purple, whatever we need. It's a bioflavonoids. It's a beta carotene, which is our own body transfers into vitamin A, which is pumpkin has to be eaten on a regular basis. And I just listened to the seminar, which they say food which are kind of passed by without appropriate respect. And she suggested very good things. She said pumpkin puree. Now it's a season when we have enormous amount of pumpkin. Even this big.
Nobody's eating them.
We can eat them. They are okay. 99 cents pumpkin like this. It's a good time now to get it. To bake it. How you cut butternut squash or turn it upside down. I actually made I didn't use it for Shabbos, but I made spaghetti squash.
Oh, what I like.
Which is as simple as that. You just cut it in half.
Yeah.
Bake it, and then when you're taking out, you actually do have spaghetti-like
strands.
I'm gonna make a soup for myself.
Well,
do you want some?
No.
Can I have your?
No, I'm full.
No? Would you like some more?
No, thank you.
But I know it's good.
It's good and yummy, and you can put a sauce. And for children, it's kind of fun. You can make it sweet or whatever.
Yeah, usually I'm doing cinnamon.
You make it with pasta sauce and cheese.
You can make it with pasta sauce and cheese.
Amazing. With pasta sauce and cheese?
Because they're like a pasta.
Amazing.
Pasta sauces. Like regular pasta sauce?
Yeah. But nowadays we're trying to get away from gluten.
Flour, yeah.
If you try to get away from gluten and you still want to have this feeling of, it would be great. Pumpkin puree, you can add.
Idea to put in like your noodles.
It looks like a noodle.
Yeah,
it's cute. It looks like your noodle soup. It's actually maybe a good idea for Pesach. You have a nice bowl of, like I usually make yam soup.
I have to try it. When you say it's good for Pesach, I have to try it.
No, but it's a very neutral taste. There is no much.
Because my husband doesn't like pumpkin.
No, but this doesn't taste like
this one. It doesn't taste like pumpkin. And
and because it has strands, it doesn't look like pumpkin. We eat without eyes. Brightly colored vegetables, whatever it is, and we have to be a little more adventurous, to look at the yams, to look at the leek, which is a wonderful vegetable, to look at the how do you call it, the bulb of with a licorice taste. What's his name? Fennel.
I never used.
We never used. See, because we grew up having 10 vegetables.
Yes, I never used. Artichoke. I don't know how.
Artichoke would do sometimes. I should prepare it next time. But there's nothing much to eat there. It's like I think it's a way to eat some butter. People do it because they're difficult
to check.
Yeah, but you can cook it and you look at the leaf with when you put it in your mouth.
I know.
But it's actually a very interesting idea to have something like food we don't know what to do with, and try to use them. Nuts. Why nuts are so important? Source of protein. This is when you can have a chance to to put. And I want you to take a look at this nut, because what I do now with every grain and every nut, I soak it first. I soak it first, and then I dehydrate them.
Oh, you soak them like...
These were not roasted?
They were soaked first,
right.
And then I shake off the water with a drainer, and they put it on my cooking sheet and put it again on very, very low in your oven with the wooden spoon. Keep the door open, that it evaporates. I think like 40 minutes, an hour. And then I get it out and I put a little bit of tamari. Because tamari gives you a little bit of probiotics and gives a little bit of, it's good for your digestion and good to digest. And I did the same just a few minutes ago with sunflower seeds. I soaked them a little bit.
You're soaking everything?
No,
I'm soaking when you're talking a little bit, for how long?
Those were soaked probably for 2 hours from the time I came. Different things, for example, with quinoa, you soak it for an hour, for 2 hours, good. Obviously, beans you should soak for overnight. Rice you soak for a few hours. I soak even buckwheat. It's a very simple and very serious idea, and it's applicable to nuts. But no, what happened with the seed? Before it starts growing, it has to soak. And when it's not growing, it has to be dry. Why? Because it's not digestible. Process not start going. This is why it can lie down on a shelf for a long time. Because it's like dormant. It's turned off.
Why you need to roast it?
You're absolutely right. You can soak almonds, and they're very yummy when they're soaked.
My mom tells me what I shouldn't eat this one.
The brown part of it?
Yeah, she removes it.
Okay. Some mamas very nice. You're right. When it's soaked, it's very easy to peel it out.
She told me
but when you chew it thoroughly, you need still. We're in need of some fiber. It's a fiber.
It's a fiber because she thinks what is dirty.
No, it's not dirty. No, almonds comes in a very, very solid shell.
Very good, well sealed.
Package is, if you see the almond, what it comes, you saw them in Israel.
So
it's like a piece, it's like a wooden box.
Yes, and she thinks it needs to be removed. She removes everything, even for tomatoes. She removes.
It's interesting. Tomato skin. It's not. You can actually, if you're interested, you can see tomato skin of tomatoes you ate for dinner. You can eventually see it in your toilet because it's like plastic. It's not digestible.
Yeah.
So if somebody would like to, if somebody's stomach is nice, strong, and whatever, and it goes, everything comes out in a nice, regular way, you shouldn't be concerned. But this is actually because we do have to remember when we learn about fiber, it has insoluble fiber and insoluble fiber. This is part probably will be passing through without breaking down, which is still good because it will carry with it like a brush, whatever needed. Because people who eat everything is very refined. When we eat white wheat, which everything removed, it's not good for us. It's a sticky mess which stands in our whatever. You need something which is
which is brushing.
Yeah. Fish. Fish is very important, and I put it fish, but I would like to make a point that we don't really get enough fish. People very rarely get enough fish to get the benefits of it, of phosphorus in fish, of good oils. It means we have to think about it, how much fish we eat, and consider supplementing. Because fish oil is incredibly important for our brain, for our nervous system. What is our brain? It's a fat. It's a fatty tissue. We really need it. We really need our nerves covered with the lipid covering. Like, have you seen the electric cable?
Yeah.
There is a metal inside. What's outside? It's like a plasticky cover. This is what outside of our nerve. It's a lipid molecule. Well, lipid is a fat molecule, which protects it. We do not want shortage happen. Short, when two wires get together, we don't want it. We need a good fat as a prevention of Alzheimer. It's very, very important. Berries. It's a good idea when season is over, we don't have fresh berries locally. We should have frozen berries. And I was told that you can really look at something which is North American, like a blueberries, whatever. You can even ask your rabbi, but it could be, gotten without action. And you can use it in your smoothies. It's a good idea to have a habit of throwing, a handful of blueberries into smoothie, into, something which... and again, having a habit of having your how do you call it? This guy.
Blender.
Thank you. Have your blender, more or less out, that you do it in a hurry. Do you remember when you almond. When you're going to work, if for example, if you can't have your breakfast in the morning, to have with you a nice big smoothie, which have your flax seed. By the way, when we were talking to nuts, I didn't mention nut seeds and something like flax seed and chia. And chia compared to flaxseed, do you remember we were talking about it's superior to flaxseed only because chia doesn't have to be grounded. It can be used without being grounded, while flaxseed has to be grounded.
Yeah.
And you can sprinkle it on everything and anything, and it doesn't really have much taste. And flaxseed can be used as an egg substitute in baking, which is a very important thing to do. And
chia also.
And chia as well, yeah, you're using it quite often. And as a thickener in sauces, which is another good usage, and very important. Fish, we talk about it. Chocolate, antioxidant. I find that, and I will send it to you guys. There is a chocolate that was made from coconut oil and cocoa, and you can make your own chocolate. I'm going to send it to you. I find this very, very good recipe, very exciting.
Yeah.
With some kind of a sweetener of your choice. You can do stevia, you can do honey or whatever. It's a very good idea. And chocolate is something which is good for you and boost your immune system. They put it yogurt here, but I would suggest not just yogurt but kefir, because again, it builds your gut flora. It's very good for you, and this is what boosts your immune system. I would mention here as well another probiotic, source of probiotics. It's miso.
Oh.
And whatever, you can mark it for yourself. And whatever is fermented foods, which we should do our
wine, fermented food.
Fermented food. We should have a class on fermented food.
Yes. Did you hear about we cannot eat cabbage now? This is true.
No. I will actually make point of Rabbi Ostreicher making statement about cabbage, because he was at the conference when they were talking about cabbage, and it's not true.
But Eksher sent email not to buy.
Not to buy what?
Cabbage.
Just generally cabbage?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll ask the details, because I was cabbage which is fermented. Whatever was there, it disappeared. This was statement the guy from from some kind of a kosher organization made.
What's wrong with cabbage?
Sometimes cabbage has bugs infested, for example.
Yeah, you have to check it.
You can check it, but for example, if you do the large amount, if you do like 4 cabbages to make your sauerkraut, if you make it a big thing, how many do you do? 2, 3 at least. Did you just one? You do one at a time?
So they're saying it's infested right now?
Yes, it's infested, not to use. I don't know if it's, you can...
Could look at your cabbage, look at your leaf.
Yeah, I don't see anything. I
look at
open 5, 6, I throw away, I don't see anything. I don't know how they found. Probably some...
Okay, we have to find out. Persimmons. Hurma.
Wow, this is...
Persimmons, do you know persimmons?
Persimmons.
Persimmons.
Don't like them, but I know them.
You don't like them?
You don't like them?
It's again, they're a very good source of iron, and it's a good. And again,
not
it's
very common around
so
here. Not very common around.
Not very common. In Italy, they're incredible,
in
and in Israel.
But
here they come in season.
In season
they're very
seasonal.
seasonal.
In season they have.
They put it persimmons, but it's actually very good to know that pomegranate and pomegranate juice, which we have a lot, it's very, very good. So it's very good for your immune system. Poultry, lean meats. Why we need meats? They didn't mention here egg, but eggs too. Protein is very important because out of protein our body builds hormones. Our body builds the cells. Our body builds our muscles. You need a source of protein, and people at the same time could be, I'm talking about as society, if we eat too much of protein and too little. People usually suggest that persons should eat about 70 grams of protein a day. The formula usually, it's a half of amount of your weight in grams. For example, if somebody weighs 140 pounds, it means they should be eating 70 grams of protein a day. To understand what is a gram of protein in food, very simple to know, it's one egg, it's 6 grams of protein. Even if you weigh egg probably weighs, 30, 40 grams. Yeah? Average 8. But in 60 grams of egg, there is a water, there is a fat like yolk, there is a whatever. It's only 6 grams of protein. It means your 3-egg omelette gives you 18 grams of protein. If you have 3 meals, each of them would have like 18 grams, 20 grams. There's a piece of chicken. There is for a man or a woman different portions, like 120 grams. It has like 30 grams of protein. But I think there is a problem with people eating too much protein because it affects your kidneys. To digest protein, you need to expend a lot of energy. The success of the protein-rich diets like Atkins, because they were eating enormous amount of protein, and it's needed from the body a lot to digest this protein. And this is how you lose weight, and eating enormous amount of meat. But we do need, at the same time, we do need protein because average person can describe their diet like, okay, cereal in the morning, sandwich at night, in the afternoon, and pasta at night.
In this case, it's not at
It's not at all.
all.
It's like we have to. Each person has to think: where do I eat protein? Do I eat protein? But we know that a handful of nuts. I have a very big hand because it's supposed to be 14. In my hand, it's 16. But handful is usually 14. It's probably enough.
And how much in handful do you have?
It was 16.
16 grams?
No, it was 16. And how much of protein would be? I will come back to you. But I think it would be like 12. It's a snack. It's good because almond. It's not only this. It's calcium.
Yeah.
You can make lovely little baggie of almonds with you. You can have as a snack some tahini with vegetables, or hummus and tahini with vegetables, which tahini is incredible. And hummus, it's a protein, it's a source of calcium, it's a source of the micro elements, because it's a sesame, and a great fat. All of this is very, very important food, and you have a whole food. It's much better to get a whole food than, for example, protein powder. But people who, for example, bodybuilders, who are athletes, they have a different formula. It's like 60 to 80% of body mass they should have of protein, because you have to build this and you have to sustain this. This is why it's different for men and women, because women have a less of a muscle mass.
So they need
less. They need less. And healthy fat. And I'm again pushing coconut oil. Let's use it everywhere, on our body, on our food, whatever. And we should find the source of oil from flaxseed oil, avocado oil, all these good healthy sources of fat. Let's talk about basic supplements. I put vitamin D as the first one, because we live in an area when there's a sun is lacking, and even if we live in Israel, they say even people in Israel lacking vitamin D, because how many people running around, and everybody's sitting inside,
and they're not absorbing also, depending with age.
It's a very interesting point, because we might not absorb because we're not exposed as much, and it means we should have vitamin D. But I was told that because it's a oil soluble vitamin, it's very important to periodically check if you have enough, because if you have too much vitamin D, if you take too much, you can actually it can affect negatively your liver, because liver has to process every fats and see because whatever water soluble just flashes through your system, whatever it has to be more concerned. B complex you get from eggs, you get from seafood, whoever it's seafood.
So B complex means the combination of both these?
Yeah, and it's a good idea. Even people have they isolated which B responsible for what, but the better to use them as a complex, because they actually help each other to achieve the goals they have. And B complex is considered stress hormone. It's helping with stress, and we all have stressful life, and we're constantly depleted in our. This is why it's a good idea. And very often teenage girls and older people have a lack of B12 and iron, and both of these things, they are kind of masking one each other. And again, we have to be very careful. If you have enough iron, you shouldn't be taking iron. Too much iron, it's a concern, because too much iron could be toxic. And again, when I'm saying it's kind of a very generous thing, but we are generally people, we have something in common with each other, but you should know what's specifically applicable to you. Zinc, it's a micro element which needed for a strong immune system, and they have zinc lozenges you can take. They're helping when you have a sore throat.
Do you have a capsule of zinc lozenges?
Oh, it's a good question. Probably we can go to the pharmacies which produce, which cater kosher people. Omega-3, fish oil and flaxseed oil. I want to make a point that fish oil closer to our body, and it's easy to absorb. Flaxseed, it's possible to absorb too. A lot of people can absorb, but some people, because it has to be transformed inside of body. It's one step. Not everybody can do it. If you know that you are taking flaxseed, but it's still you have problem, maybe you should find the animal source of
How would you
oil.
know if you have a problem?
you will know that if you have signs of deficiency, if your skin, if your hair shows a sign of dryness and like the brittleness, your nails, it's a sign that you're lacking.
But I think now on my age, after 40, anyway, nails is not so good, right? So it doesn't matter what you're doing. No?
Not really.
Not so. If I have a problem, I should be concerned.
You know, I have to tell you, there is something very special about our body, and it's a mashal, it's example how Hashem sustains universe. For example, skeleton, our skeleton, every 7 years when you get a new one, it exchanges. All the cells in your body constantly exchange. We constantly shed the skin. We constantly reproduce the blood cells in our body. Every 30 months we have all new blood cells. This is why it gives opportunity kind of to do tshuva. Like if you change things, it will actually affect your body, can start changing. If you change something which was, you were doing the same thing, okay, you're getting the same result. And all of a sudden you change things. Because you can produce, for example, smokers, they actually have a different kind of cells. The cells we have, it's like a long cells in the throat. And they have like a flattened cells. There is a difference. But it says if you quit smoking in a month or two, its new growth will start. Because there is no environmental damage. And you will have. It means if you're eating healthy diet, if you have enough calcium, if you have, you know, our bones constantly being built and destroyed, built and destroyed. If the rate of destruction is higher the rate of building, you have a loss of bone mass. But it doesn't have to happen. If you do exercise, if your muscles, you know, we know there is a people who are very, very strong and their bones strong. And they're same age as another person whose bones are not, you know.
Do you know what foods have zinc in them?
I know that oysters and whatever. Let me tell you. It's. By the way,
you're on film recommending oysters.
No. By the way, it's they suggesting the what is kids friendly. By the way, I did mention for nuts to use nut butters. It's a very good idea as a dips. For example, you can make your own almond butter. Or buy. Yeah, and use it as a dip. It's a very great. Let's have the zinc.
So you should give us recipe for chocolate.
Yeah, I'm gonna give the recipe. I'm gonna send it to you. Okay. Oysters, nuts, fortified cereals, and beans. Okay. The source of zinc.
Source of zinc.
Oysters, nuts, fortified cereals, and beans. Sometimes they add, and you can have in your multivitamins. Make sure that there is a zinc. There is, I think it comes with you can take for a season, for example, because you know that it's a season where there is a, you know.
Yeah. Thank you.
And vitamin, they call ACE. You know, A, C, and E. It's a very, very, yeah, it would be enough probably. Vitamin A, C, and E. Vitamin A comes from orange colored, whatever. If you're concerned that you don't have, thank you very much, if you don't have enough your vegetables, make sure that you have your A's, which is important very much for your health of your eyes. You know. C, it's obvious, you know, our lemon, citrus, it's very important. And E is very important for skin, and again, it's a vitamin E. It's very important for women health. We know that vitamin E participating in the hormonal structure, you know, the progesterone and estrogen. very, very important. When we have person going through change, the vitamin E is one of the additional vitamins we're taking. We have a ginger tea recipe, and we had our ginger tea. We like it. What's interesting in this ginger tea recipe, we have ground cinnamon, and we have turmeric, and we have ginger. All of these things, they're anti-inflammatory. This is a very, very important, because when we eat diet full of acidic forming foods, meats, dairy, whatever, and grain as well, they're acidic forming. Even they're vegetarian source, but they're acidic forming. We need to increase acidity of the body. With acidity of the body comes inflammation, and we need to use whatever we can to bring inflammation down. Ginger, great for it.
So when you say ginger, did you use fresh ginger?
I use fresh ginger. Rita says it's better to use organic ginger. I got in this tea not organic ginger, but it was two the big chunks of ginger.
Okay.
For 2 full lemons, I just cut the lemon, get the pits out, and zap everything. Ginger, I first grated in the food process. I first grated, and then I throw it into the bowl and put the knife, put the blade in.
Oh, okay.
Why'd you do that?
Because ginger is very woody. It's kind of it won't go, when you go like this, just with piece, it will be like a chunks which are not really. I was given advice by my mom. She will grind it first, and then she puts it and zaps it all together. And lemon, 2 lemons, 2 organic lemons, whole thing, and with skin and with white, just the pits I got out, and 4 full tablespoons of good unpasteurized honey.
Why unpasteurized?
Unpasteurized honey generally better for you, because through pasteurization some enzymes being destroyed.
So why do they pasteurize?
It's a very good question, because why would they pasteurize honey when honey is antibacterial? Usually they try to pasteurize the products in order to kill all the bacteria. It's like pasteurizing garlic, it kills bacteria. You can store things with honey and it will stay, and it doesn't forever. Yeah, it will just crystallize, but one of the big companies.
I think because it's not natural honey, they pasteurize it.
It's a very interesting point. Maybe it has a lot of.
You never know, because they don't have to tell you if it's less than 0.1%, something like this, according to the law, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something in North America, they have a law. What if it's ingredient, something less? I'm not sure what is amount.
You don't have
they don't have to tell you about this. So, and I think honey is also depending how it's produced. So let's see if they're feeding this.
It's very sneaky things you can do. Make it faster. You can put next to the beehive,
sugar.
100 meters from beehive, you can put a wad of the sweet water. And busy bee doesn't have to go kilometers, fly somewhere to the flower and get the things. It goes to this bucket and gets the sweet water instead of nectar of the plant and brings it back. Okay, it goes through her system. There is something that, but it's again, we were talking about chickens, whatever, eggs. You said, more area it gets. This is why we have honey in May. We have the best first honey, because it's from the first flowers, honey, and it's all different beautiful smells. It's a very, very light honey. But you have a buckwheat honey when it's filled with buckwheat, and it's dark, nice dark honey, and different, specific.
What about Manuka honey?
They say it's very good, but they have there is Altai honey. They come from Soviet Union somewhere in mountains. Manuka, there is a New Zealand honey.
So Manuka is New Zealand?
I think it's a Manuka is New Zealand. These places with beautiful virgin, clean places, it's a wonderful thing. But if it's industrially done, sometimes they can sacrifice the quality for quantity. Turmeric is great, prevention of Alzheimer. We're putting turmeric anywhere.
And cancer as well.
And cancer as well.
Turmeric, they found what it's very good. It's sometimes not just preventing, it's sometimes it's
curing.
Yes.
Because I just saw the article when they use as a therapy ginger for the breast cancer therapy. And unlike the chemotherapy, which cannot distinguish between healthy and unhealthy cells, it kills all young cells.
Mm-hmm.
This one was specifically targeting the thing.
Yeah.
It was Saudi Arabia research somewhere. I was quite surprised, but it was interesting. We do it with the tea, with the hot water. It's a great drink. You can try to do it with cold water. It's going to be kind of like a ginger beer, because ginger makes it ferment a little bit. It's interesting. Another thing about drinking, we should try to drink green tea, green or white tea, because we're looking for antioxidants which help your body to fight bacteria. And it's good to keep drinking, because when it's getting so cold and houses are, you don't feel like drinking, you have to have like a log, how many times I drink. Like have this mug and put the times when you drink your tea. Here it is about our...
How did you make this?
The mineral broth, you start with water, you put your celery, I didn't put onion, but you should put onion, you put your mushrooms, you put whatever vegetables you have.
You didn't put garlic?
I didn't put garlic, I should put garlic.
But it's good even without.
Yeah, but you can, they say, that I have a teacher who was teaching us, she said, whatever you have a little bit tired vegetables, especially if they're organic vegetables, or when you cooking something, you have ends and you wash them and tops of ends, put them in separate bag, and at the end of the week make this big mineral broth. You can use it for just drink like this, like a drink like warm or cold, or you can use it as a base for some vegetables.
Did you put tamari in it?
I didn't put tamari. I just bought Himalayan salt. If you can put a very good point, you can put tamari or even miso. Mix a little teaspoon with miso with this. It's a great soup.
So you just put in the mushrooms, the kale stems,
and I put the bay leaf.
And how long did you cook it?
I think it was an hour and a half.
But you didn't put all together, no?
I put it all together because it doesn't, in this case, we're not concerned with, because we won't be eating any fruit and any vegetables.
So you won't eat this? Why not?
Well, it's actually an interesting point. I can look at it, for example, I can fish out the bay leaf and I can, with a hand blender, mix it all together with the...
No, but why? I would eat mushrooms.
Maybe
why
we can eat them. Yeah. I don't know. When you do it, in my case, I didn't put the ends and whatever. You want to serve something nice looking?
But for me, it's nice looking.
Okay. Very good.
I don't know. For me.
I don't think it's nice looking, but I don't see any reason why not to eat it.
But usually when you do mineral broth, you can have a bunch of things in the bottom of whatever, which was cooked for a while and become like a mousse and whatever. You can eat it or you don't have to eat it. It's your choice. You're a master of your soup.